Okay, today I'm going to be explaining the Giant's Causeway. I've done a little video on this way back to do with the squashing of electromagnetic bubbles, but again, all conjecture, couldn't really kind of do anything with that. But I just did a video the other day about bug's eyes and wave motions and time-lapse eyes and all that kind of thing, and due to the video that I'm about to show, I'm just going to put in this wave motion interference video, and it's only a minute and a half long. If you want to watch that, you'll see what happens to liquid when it is vibrated and what happens to the waves when they bunch up, and then after that it'll be dead easy to explain to you what happened when this volcanic eruption actually happened.
In this film, we're concerned with the interference patterns of ripples made on the surface of water. The ripples are produced in a ripple tank by two dippers which vibrate on the surface. Light passing through the water is reflected from a mirror through a lens to form an image of ripples on a screen. We've obtained this true image by the Schlieren technique of inserting a stop in the light path. The two small dippers vibrate on the surface of the water. Each dipper produces its own pattern of ripples, and the two sets of patterns overlap. In step, they produce a pattern like this. Out of step, they're vibrating in antiphase and produce a different pattern like this. So that we can study these patterns more closely, the images formed by the ripples have been slowed to 1/24th of their actual speed by stroboscopic means. Two sources are here vibrating in phase, producing crests and troughs in step with one another. The result is an interference pattern. Along these lines, the waves from the two sources always arrive out of step and neutralize each other, producing interference fringes of minimum wave motion. Minimum wave motion, maximum wave motion. Now the two sources are vibrating in phase about 5 wavelengths apart. When the dippers are moved closer together, the interference fringes spread out. When one of the dippers is moved, these effects are clearly demonstrated. As the sources come closer together, the fringes are widely separated.
So as you can see, this one is in phase and the vibrations are wide apart. But you see that pattern there? Yep, there's all your hexagons. So I'm going to bring up a couple of pictures of the Giant's Causeway now, and I'm going to explain what happened. Okay, so let's go with the geological explanation. 50-60 million years ago, during the Paleogene period, Ancient was subject to intense volcanic activity. That I can agree with. When highly fluid molten basalt intruded through chalk beds to form an extensive lava plateau. As the lava cooled, contraction occurred. Horizontal contraction fractured in a similar way to drying mud, with the cracks propagating down as the mass cooled, leaving pillar-like structures which also fractured horizontally into biscuits. In many cases, the horizontal fractures have resulted in a bottom face that is convex, while the upper face of the lower segment is concave, producing what is called ball and socket joints. The size of the columns is primarily determined by the speed at which lava from a volcanic eruption cools. The extensive fracture network produced the distinctive columns seen today. The basalts were originally part of the great volcanic plateau called the blah blah blah. Well, let's just go back to number 6 there. The extensive fracture network produced the distinctive columns seen today. When have you ever seen anything fracture and do this? Or this? So, you can believe that this all fractured in perfect layers, and that it fractured into hexagons. Or you can look at that picture in the corner there and see that any kind of volcanic eruption that's pushing up and the ground is vibrating, which it would be because it's a volcanic eruption. So we have 2 points separated either side, forcing the hexagons in. That is what happened. And because we live in an electric universe, there are electrical levels to the atmosphere. So the torus dome that these rocks formed all have, just think of a rainbow, you can see all them levels. That is why it fractured on each bubble. That's why one side is concave and one side is convex, because the bubbles are trying to push upwards. So how do I know it's electrical and it's not just fractures? Well, this proves it. Here is at 10 meters, 10 meters, 1 centimeter, 10 centimeters, 5 millimeters. It is a fractal pattern, which means it's electrical. My electrical double helix waveform, which formed each one of these segments, doesn't fracture. It splits where the electrical boundary connection is. And that's why they're split at the same levels. So you can carry on believing in gravity, and that gravity and fracturing does this kind of thing, because if you go back and look at the explanation, you'll find out it's a totally bogus explanation and it means absolutely nothing scientifically. So there we go. This was formed by 2 points of vibration, probably either side. Let's have a look at an aerial shot. Okay, so we've got some kind of tongue sticking out there. I've tried to find decent aerial shots of this, but this is about the best you can get. So what I did then was I decided to bring up a map, and lo and behold, this is what you get. So there's your point of tongue, there's your 2 circles either side, there's your vibration points. Thanks very much. The Giant's Causeway was caused by electricity and wave motion by a volcanic eruption, which produced hexagon squares as per that wave interference model. Thank you very much. My name is Lee and I'm a Christian, and all this information was given to me by, well, not all this information, God showed me his double helix of energy travel last May in 2014, and every single video is a product of that double helix energy wave motion travel. So yeah, I keep showing the same theory working on everything. Thanks very much. My name is Lee and I'm a Christian.